Oh wow. Well, speaking of artists and money, I don't know if you saw this week. There was a lot of talk, a lot of chatter about 50 Cent and his whole bankruptcy filing and all the legal stuff that was going on. And there was a debate. You know, I don't know if our mutual friend Charlemagne was debating on the Breakfast Club about what this really means. You know, does this mean that he's broke? Does this mean that he's just a strategy? You spend a lot of time in court. You've had a lot of money. You're familiar with the hip hop space. What is your take on all of that in terms of why this whole bankruptcy might have went down? Why Forbes would say that he was worth 155 million, but yet he go in court. His lawyer said he's only worth 4.4. Not without really getting into a whole gossip about 50 Cent. When you see all of this, what would be your interpretation of this?
I mean, again, I don't speak on another man's pockets, but what I could say is knowing about business and knowing the way Forbes and like I said, I've been in situations where they said I had 300 million. I was like, where's it at? So I never believe Forbes, regardless. And I'm not saying about anybody's pockets. I'm just saying, that's Forbes. You don't believe what you read in a magazine. That's all bullshit. And the realities of business is that's part of the game. A lot of business. Trump went bankrupt a couple of times. His business
Yeah,
is like
four
7 times.
times. Yeah.
It's part of the game. But I just think if it was me that went bankrupt, boy, they would have had my head. There wouldn't have been no debates. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's all I'd be looking at it. I'd be like, I just see how they carry me about things, how they carry everybody else. But I think 50 is a warrior. I think he's in the game and he's playing the game. And that's that. That's all part of the game. That's all I'm saying about that. You know what I mean? Like, all of it is part of the game.
Mm.
Perception, reality, the fight. There's a lot of things that come with being in the game. It's not doing business at a professional game is a lot more than most people can take. And what I see is 50's playing at a professional level. So,
Mm.
maybe he might not have had an understanding of what it was before, but I know he has an understanding of what it is now. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Right.
of course, what he's going to have to sustain is knowing exactly what the truth is and hearing what everyone else got to say about it, which is hilarious because, it's his pocket at the end of the day. You know what I mean? But I know how that is. So that's part of being a businessman. So it looks like 50's a real businessman. I can say that.
Well, I agree with you. That's the perception I had. I mean, I remember when he did go on the Breakfast Club, he did say something about how he said my businesses are doing really well, but it almost sounded like he pays himself a salary out of the business, and that was the only thing I could come up with. In terms of seeing this broad contrast between what Forbes will say he's worth and what he says he's worth in court. Because you go to court, you got to tell the truth, right? I assume, right? In civil court, you can't lie in civil court, or can you? Is it the same as criminal court?
Well, you can't lie in court. That's perjury.
Right. That's what I thought. I was
Yeah,
like, because I was thinking,
you can't lie
like, I
in
mean, I
court.
don't think he's committing perjury, right? So if he's saying that he's, I think because I think he had said something about how he takes the cars and the jewels back and stuff like that, and I was trying to figure out. I was like, okay, is it that
They
the
made, hold on,
perception?
they made him say all that?
Yeah, man, you got to read the articles, bro. I mean, it was really interesting because it was like basically he was just basically saying, "Look, I don't have all this money that people think that I have, stuff like that." And I thought, okay, maybe he's doing this as a legal strategy because he had just got hit with a couple of big lawsuits, worth of I think about 22 million. So I was thinking, well, maybe he's protecting his wealth. Because some people can say this, and you can speak to this as a businessman. Again, this is not about 50%. It's about the whole issue of your business versus yourself. I thought, well, maybe his wealth is tied in the company, and if you have your companies that are wealthy and you're giving yourself a salary, then you can separate the two entities. So if you sue me, you're not necessarily going to have access to all of this over here. Is that the impression that you might have, or what do you think?
I would think that if he's a businessman, all the money that he has to use his working capital. So if bankruptcy is just you don't pay your bills for a while, but when money comes in, you got to pay some shit down. So if you have like I was gonna declare bankruptcy one time because I had a bunch of goods I had to pay for Vampire Life, and I had a judgment, some bullshit uh judgment that was to me unjust, but that's another story. And they were trying to take what was there. But let's say I would have declared, I would have been able to take what was there and put it into my business. You understand what I'm saying? But only into my business. So what bankruptcy means is they're gonna scrutinize every expenditure that you have, because every dollar is supposed to go into your work. It should be working capital or whatever bills that you say you got to pay. So he has to justify all his bills. So they'll be like, hold on, you owe this money and you got a Ferrari, you don't need that Ferrari. So they would give it to that person. You understand what I'm saying? But he has to be like, yo, so if they see him with a Ferrari, they want to know, well, what was that Ferrari? Where's that at? Or where's this at? So they may be making them explain that, because every time it gets petty in bankruptcy court. You know what I'm saying? But again, my point was, he probably has to use his money for his businesses. But again, I'm not trying to talk about that man money. I'm talking about any business. Like if I was going to declare, the only reason why I would is like, before I pay you, I got to use this money for my businesses. You understand what I'm saying? So maybe he needs to keep his cash flow. But again, you never know. Like I don't really try to judge those kind of things, because I'm only worried about me. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I know everyone has a very particular struggle and a different way of doing business. I know the cheating that goes on in business. A lot of that bullshit happens because professional business is a funky, funky game, and people cheat every day. Like I'm still in all my lawsuits, and it's a long process. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. You know what I mean? But I almost got sick of talking about it because I was bored with it. It's uninspiring. You know what I'm saying? So I got back to doing what I enjoy doing. And, in between, it's like a due process court. It takes a minute to get in front of a judge. Like by the time you even get to say your case, you go through, it's almost like you're being punished. But, it's really just, it takes a long time to get to the truth. So as it relates to bankruptcy in general, it's a part of business, and perception is also a part of business. You understand what I'm saying? So some people, part of their marketing is that they have a lot. At Rockefeller, that was our marketing. A lot of flash, not as much cash. So at Rockefeller, we would always pretend we had more than we had. So we would always make something look bigger. You understand what I'm saying? But what you got to understand is, if you in the newspaper and you making yourself look bigger, but your taxes don't reflect what they're saying you got, the government's just gonna be like, that's how people get audited. Because they're like, they said you got 200 million, you only paid $1 million of taxes. So now they gotta look under the hood. You understand what I'm saying?
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
most people that have money don't promote that they have money, because it just makes them hot. You understand what I'm saying? But most people, and again, I'm not saying anything about anybody, I'm just talking about generally. I know for a fact that Rockefeller, that was our thing. Pretend we had more money than we had. We had more money than everybody else, but if we had $1 million, it looked like 10. If we had 10, it looked like 100. That's almost one of the reasons why I had to stop that shit, because it was, it had me too hot for no reason. You understand what I'm saying? So I remember articles in Forbes and all this. That's why I look like I fell, because they're like, oh, we had 300 now. When did I have 300? I spent 300 for sure. I definitely spent 300. You know what I'm saying? But as far as 300 sitting, hell to the no. As far as what my companies are worth to me, I'm worth $1 billion. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know I'm gonna make $1 billion. Because at the end of the day, all the companies that I have, every dollar I make from that, I'm putting into what I really want, a football team. And I'm gonna need $1 billion for that. So I'm gonna keep flipping till I get the football team.
Well,
So I don't care what they say about me in Forbes. Whether I got it or not, it's always money working. You understand what I'm saying? I'm always flipping. Sometimes you take losses. Sometimes you got to wait. You got to remember something. When you invest in a company, you can't invest in another company till you get your money back out of what you invested in. That's called, you got to wait to re-up. So sometimes like the Rachel, I had millions in the company. I had to wait 5-6 years to get it back. In between that, everybody said I was broke. I'm like, all right, I'll be broke. You know what I'm saying? Then it come back, everybody else broke. And now I got some money because it was a little, you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing that I could put back into another business. You see, that's what people don't understand. As an independent, you got to have working capital. So you can't never put something up. You don't have any expendable income. Like, I'm not buying a car before I'm paying the editor. You understand? I'm going to buy a camera, or I got to pay my motherfucking rent for my galleries, or I got to buy some goods for these orders, or I got to pay, you know what I mean? I always got to pay for something. And because I'm inspired daily, I'm always putting it into something else. Pause. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm a serial entrepreneur at a professional level. It's bet it all or you can't really play. People
Mm,
with jobs save money. Entrepreneurs put it in the street.
mm. Well, you know what? It's funny, man. When you say that, when you talk about money, just kind of making you making things worse if you are too flashy with it, if you're too outspoken about it, if you exaggerate it too much. It makes me think about this saying that I heard a long time ago. The Chinese use it. It says the fattest pig will always get slaughtered. So when you make yourself the fattest pig, then somebody's gonna come along and try to eat,
Right.
right?
But
Uh,
again, some people, you got to remember what I'm saying. Some people use money as marketing. So let's say you in the street. You go, why does a guy get a car before he gets a new place to live? The reason why is because you can show the car. The minute people see you with the car, more people want to make money with you because they want to get the money that you made to buy the same kind of car better. You understand
mm,
what I'm saying? So that was always our promotion. That was why Jay and I couldn't coincide anymore because his marketing was that he's a businessman. He's like, I can't be a businessman next to you. It'd be like me saying I want to be a rapper next to Jay, the greatest rapper of all time. So I can't pretend I'm a rapper next to Jay. So his marketing plan can't be I'm a businessman next to me. You understand
mm,
what I'm saying? Because I'm the one that's doing P&Ls and every day collecting money. That's a whole different kind of businessman. You understand what I'm saying?
hmm.
So some
Right.
people's marketing, like there's people that make so much money and never say they're a businessman. Like rappers that sell 10 million records and singers and actors and they just cake out. But they don't be like, I'm a businessman. They know what they are. But some people use being a businessman as a marketing plan. It's an aspirational thing to be. You understand what
Mm,
I'm saying? And that's almost anyone that's promoting that they're a businessman usually isn't. You understand what I'm saying?
wow.
That
Interesting.
means it means they're usually selling a celebrity. Like selling your celebrity doesn't it makes you good at monetizing yourself, but it don't make you a good businessman. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you know how as an entertainer how to look like a businessman and then make money from that perception. You
Mm,
understand what I mean?
hmm.
So a lot of perception is marketable. The perception of a boss, a perception of a businessman, all of those things, what a lot of people use to make more money. That's their marketing plan. Business